Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a surprising entrance to the channel. I'm not sure whether I've showed this engine before. I'm presuming I haven't, but this is my 00 gauge A4 Mallard number 60022, which you can see just there. And you've got a nice front plate which says Mallard there. A nice little design in the center there. Now this engine doesn't really run on my channel because currently it's DCC fitted and the DCC chip has completely burnt out, which means I need to get a blanking pin to put inside of it to make it run again. And also you can see here it's got no tender, so I need to buy a tender for it. So this is not on here today to get some work done on it, despite how much I might want to do a lot of work on these engines so they're just done and I don't have to worry about them anymore. But then again, that would just take away from all the content I could possibly have access to, which is getting smaller and smaller because I keep completing things. And unfortunately, some things I wanted to arrive haven't arrived, and the long story behind the scenes stuff, it's fun, and you will have known if you watched last week's episode, or I say episode, last week's video, that I mentioned buying an LMS Class 5. We'll put it that I haven't yet bought that. That's what we'll say. There's a few more behind the scenes things that's happened. Obviously, I'm not wanting to attack the seller or anything like that of the item that I bought, because the seller was really useful, and I would 100% recommend the seller. Completely useful. Like, honestly, straight to the point. Seller was straight on it when I mentioned the thing that had happened and sorted it out, and everything's being sorted with that. So something was purchased, possibly a wrong thing arrived, and that was sent back, so that I could get back to square one and actually buy an LMS Class 5. That's as far as I'll say on the channel. But obviously that's not priority this week. Priority this week is my Mallard and addressing it. So we're going to do the fun task of taking the body off, which is the easy part. Putting it back on is the hard part. And believe me, I spent about an hour previously trying to do it, because it is very, very annoying to do. So we got the body off here, and then we got the massive chassis block here. So obviously we need a non-powered tender to go behind, and then you can see the DC chip there, which has burnt out. Now it does still run with the motor and stuff. It just needs a blanking pin, which is going to be fun. But I mean, as soon as I get a blanking pin, I will be straight off and ready to go again, which will be nice. So yeah, get a blanking pin to go in there, and then from there we just need to get a tender, and that's it. It's pretty simple as to what needs to be done. Also, we need to get a screw for the front so it doesn't keep coming off, as that would be very useful for it not to do so. Might even possibly, this is like a really far stretch at this point, might replace this front cylinder block here, because it is so just like, there is nothing to it. I was going to say unfancy, but that's just not an English word. Ideally I'd like to replace it with one that's got some design on it, so it looks a little bit nicer. But for now I don't see a point of moving it. In fact, I might not even replace it, because it does get fully covered by the body, which I'm going to check is in one piece. That kick plate needs replacing. So there's a little, I'm trying to show you the body here. Can you see it on camera? Oh yeah, you can, just a bit. There's this kick plate that keeps lifting up. Bit of glue and that'll stick back down nicely. So ignore that clicking sound. I will fix it off camera later this week. And obviously this needs some work to be done to it. However, it will not be done this week or next week. because I'm going on holiday next week. You'll still get a video, so don't worry about that. I'm making sure I'm going to pre-record a video, which will actually come out on time, unlike the rest of my videos, which come out late. Apologies for that one in advance, but it's just a thing that apparently exists on this channel. Besides the point. Next week, hopefully, give or take a few things working in my favour, which I'm really hoping a part arrives in the next day or so, so that I can pre-film for my Cars and Trains channel, me rebuilding my B1. Now, if the B1 works perfectly fine with a new motor, which is what I've ordered, and looks good, then I will, well, I mean, if it was to arrive today, that would be very useful, but I don't see that happening, unfortunately. I will try and put a little bit of straight out and show you guys the B1 running for next week's video. I would say I'd put out a loop of track, but to be quite honest, I do not have the space to do that. So that isn't going to happen. But what I can say is I will try and get a little bit of track out so you can see the B1 running a little bit, and give you that sort of video for next week. And then the week after, possibly, I might have ordered a couple of parts for this thing by then, or a couple of new engines, whatever I decide to do while I'm on holiday. Obviously there's no guarantee they're going to arrive in time for the week I get back, but I think for that week I might, now I'm not promising this, but I might have some Heritage Railway filmed video that could go out on both channels to cover for that week, so I can get parts and engines and stuff arriving, to try and cover for all that for you guys. Which, if I do go to Heritage Railway while I'm on holiday, which is the idea, then I'll need a little bit of editing, so I'll edit it while I'm away, and so that we're ready to go out when I get back. And unless it's an engine that I own, then there will be no merging to double O gauge engines, because it just doesn't seem like that's going to end well. Also, while I'm on the theme of Heritage Railways, there was an engine I filmed 2 months ago, 3 months ago, something like that. It's quite a few months ago now, because obviously I went to film for my Cars and Trains channel the Green Arrow, the actual real life V2 Green Arrow, and was trying to merge it into what you would have seen last week, which was the double O gauge model Green Arrow, that would have appeared for a little cameo in my running session. Now, obviously, as soon as I get my hands on that engine, that video will go out. But there was a video filmed for this channel, which was a sort of Great Northern Railway, a GNR, I think, engine. Slightly older, I think, but that video has been paused as well because of the other one. Now, what I'm going to do is try and find the footage, which is going to be a lot of scrolling back on my phone. But I'm going to try and find the footage of that GNR engine, and while I'm on holiday I'm going to try and edit it together, and then get it uploaded for you guys at some point in the next month or two. So that's also coming out. And then for my Cars and Trains channel, I'm going to try and edit together some video or something like that, but we'll see how it goes. And I obviously need to check the footage and the quality of it and whether it's usable or not, because it's been such a long time I can't remember the state of the footage. So while I'm on holiday, I'm going to check that footage out, because I'm going to bring my editing laptop with me. So I'm going to edit a couple of things for you guys and for my Cars and Trains channel, and we'll have a bit of fun when I get back with some, not so normal videos. Some nice train videos, obviously, which is the sort of norm of this channel at the minute, but some nice sort of footage. And I'm only gone for a week, so it won't feel like that long, hopefully. When I get back, obviously there's a project called the Railway Project in my room that I want to build. Now, my room is getting worse by the day. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, it's getting worse in terms of mess. So when I get back, or before I go, I'm going to try and clean my room up a little bit. if I can't do it before I go, then when I get back I'll clean my room up a bit, and then we can start working on, you know, how we're going to do this, what's it going to look like, and all that sort of thing, which will be fun, I'm sure. But yeah, so that's the sort of schedule for the next couple of weeks, maybe a month. I'm not really sure how time works anymore, apparently. But yeah, so this is coming on the channel. This is going to be strictly to this channel. There'll be no videos of this being worked on my Cars and Trains channel. It will be solely on here, and they'll be told about that next week. I'm sure. I'll make sure of that. When I'm filming the B1, I'll mention that this is going to be strictly on this channel, and I'll show them it, and then they'll be able to come over here, and you guys will get to go over there for the B1 being restored, and then come back here for it running. So yeah, a bit of collaboration between the two channels, and if I can, I'll try and link the channels from next week for stuff between the channels. So if this goes to the other channel, and you know, vice versa, then they'll be linked as like a collaborator. So that's a little bit of what's coming to the channel, a little spoiler of that coming, and yeah, hope you enjoy the next few videos, especially the ones that will have trains in them, hopefully, like real life big trains. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you do like this video, please like, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on so you get notified when the next episode of my Mallard comes out, and when I get all the bits for it together. And I hope to see you next week, hopefully, with the running, or a little running session, sort of makeshift one, of my B1, hopefully, if everything goes to plan, which barely ever happens, but we'll try. And with that being said, I shall see you next week. Bye for now.